For decades, football tactics have been defined by a single question. Do you play a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2? Managers built entire careers defending one side of this structural divide. But treating this like a simple multiple-choice question is a trap. This diagram of the 4-3-3 shows how the system generates passing triangles all over the pitch. By staggering the midfield and pushing wingers high, it creates a tripartite architecture designed to dominate possession. A player on the ball almost always has two diagonal options, making the ball difficult to intercept. When the players shift into the classic 4-4-2, those geometric angles vanish. In their place is a defensive fortress. Two rigid banks of four stretch across the pitch, creating a highly organized block designed to absorb pressure and launch immediate counterattacks through a dual-striker partnership. Here is the manager's dilemma. Set up in a 4-4-2, and you surrender the passing angles needed to cleanly play through an opponent. Commit to the 4-3-3, and you risk leaving the defense exposed to high-speed counters when advanced midfielders get caught up the pitch. If you watch the elite teams today, they aren't making this compromise. The best managers have found a way to break the rules of static formations entirely to get the benefits of both. To understand how they do it, we have to look at the primary battlefield where this debate is actually decided, the center of the pitch. This diagram shows the numerical distribution of both systems in the central channel. A mathematical problem emerges for the flat 4-4-2. Because it relies on a two-man central midfield, it is instantly outnumbered by the 4-3-3's three-man midfield. This 3 versus 2 advantage guarantees the 4-3-3 team a free man. That free man is usually the single defensive pivot. Tucked behind the central clash, this player is left unmarked with a clear view to dictate the tempo of the game. If one of the 4-4-2 midfielders steps forward to press that pivot, they vacate the space behind them. The 4-3-3 team can instantly exploit that gap, drawing the defense inward before releasing the ball to wingers on the flanks. This structural mismatch was the foundation of Jose Mourinho's initial tenure at Chelsea. By deploying Claude Makélélé as a dedicated pivot behind Frank Lampard and Thiago, Mourinho guaranteed his team an unmarked playmaker against the flat 4-4-2 systems that dominated the league in 2004. In a static matchup, the flat 4-4-2 lacks the numbers to win the war for the central corridors. The countermeasure to that central overload isn't adding another midfielder, it's space-oriented compactness. Instead of chasing the ball, a disciplined 4-4-2 maintains tight horizontal and vertical distances between its players. The entire team shifts as a single unit, denying central passes and forcing the opponent into a harmless U-shape around the perimeter. To solve the unmarked free man problem, the two strikers drop backward to press the opponent's holding midfielder. By closing the passing lanes from the front, they allow their own midfielders to stay in line and shield the back four. Diego Simeone utilized the structure at Atletico Madrid to neutralize technical 4-3-3 opponents. By sacrificing the ball, his team completely controlled the central space. This creates a tactical stalemate. The 4-3-3 dictates the possession, but the 4-4-2 dictates the actual territory. For years, managers picked a side in this stalemate. Today, elite tacticians have bypassed the choice through phase shifting, changing a team's formation on the fly depending on who has the ball. Mikel Arteta's setup at Arsenal provides a clear example of this dynamic hybridization. Out of possession, Arsenal recovers into a highly compact 4-4-2 mid-block. The center forward and an attacking midfielder form the first line of defense, screening access to the opponent's central playmakers and congesting the middle of the pitch. But the structural rules rewrite themselves the moment they win the ball back. The team transitions into an attacking 4-3-3. The fullbacks tuck inward to sit alongside the defensive midfielder, while the remaining midfielders push high between the opposition's defensive lines. This geometric expansion pulls the opposing defense apart, achieving a specific goal, isolating wingers like Bukayo Saka in one-on-one matchups on the flanks. Phase shifting allows a team to combine the defensive stability of a 4-4-2 with the offensive passing geometry of a 4-3-3. This fluidity is the standard for modern innovators. Pep Guardiola frequently shifts his 4-3-3 into a 3-2-4-1 setup in possession, creating a central overload through a box midfield. At Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti defends in a narrow 4-4-2, but transitions into an asymmetrical 4-3-3 to unleash his forwards in attacking transitions. Contemporary managers treat these systems as starting positions rather than fixed constraints. The advantage doesn't come from picking the right formation, but from coordinating the movement between them. In the battle between the 4-3-3 and the 4-4-2, the winner is the manager who chooses both.